and we'd do the float plane in and out, which was another amazing experience.
That is awesome.
So we're in the BC waters, and then,
know.
oh, geez, too bad, so sad. We got to get on a float plane and fly over all these beautiful islands back to Seattle, right? So that in itself was kind of an adventure in that journey.
Yeah.
And it was a point where we could just be together and be quiet.
Yeah.
And just be still.
Did you read a book during those times?
No, Andy did.
Okay.
It's really interesting. I don't want to say I'm kind of weird. I stopped reading books. If this sounds, when I was 50,
you would just sit.
I would just sit, and I'm okay with my thoughts. And by the way, I do a lot of thinking, but what I've learned how to do is not let my thinking obsess me.
Right.
So I'm when we walked across Spain, we did the Camino de Santiago.
Oh, dang. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right.
So
you're right.
I did not do headset. I wanted to find out what goes through your mind when you're walking 800 kilometers in a 30 to 35 day period where you're just,
that's it.
What's that cadence? There's a certain rhythm that you get into. What goes through your mind?
Right.
And that was what I wanted to discover.
That's pretty cool.
Andy took that time because we're walking 6 to 7 hours a day. She listened to Audible and loved doing that because it takes time to read, right?
Yep.
And so I have read a lot from age 10 to probably age, I'm going to say 45.
Right.
I've read, and when I do read, the subjects that I like to read are historical fiction about a place we're going to travel.
Oh, really?
To get the little history bio on it. I'm a fan of biographies. Love everyone's stories. Totally intrigued with it.
Yep.
But I also read self-help and the power of positive thinking.
Yep.
All the inspirational, like the Og Mandino, Napoleon Hill, all that stuff.
Yep.
That's all old school now.
It is.
But
great though.
That is the foundation. When you listen to even all the speakers now, they'll all refer to all these old timers.
They've all said it before,
First book I ever read, my dad gave it to me. I was 10 years old, and it was a book called The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. You've ever heard of this book?
No.
Okay. There's your assignment.
Okay.
It's a quick, easy read. You can get it on Amazon.
The last name is Og Mandino?
Og Mandino.
Og Mandino?
Yep. Amazing, very inspirational author.
Great.
It's a tiny little book. And my dad gave me that book, and I read it, and I did a book report on it in school. Yeah. And it was, when you read the book, then you'll probably know a little bit more about me and the impact or why that connection you have with me. And I got that at age 10.
All right, I'm going to have you sign that book.
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. It's one of my favorite books.
Good.
And so I did read a lot of mental, I'm going to say self-help or whatever, but just I recognized, I've been fortunate. I've always worked. So I've never been afraid to work.
Right.
I've always had initiative. I just, I didn't see things happening unless somebody did something to create something to happen.
Yeah.
Right. And then I read enough to understand time will take care of everything. Now, it doesn't always go how we think it's going to.
Yeah. But
for me, the secret is keep moving. But I never lost sight of people. And we have investment portfolios, and we've had it both, by the way. I could talk to you forever about how to fail. Because I promise you, I've had some harebrained ideas that didn't work out so well. And we paid the price financially for those. Yeah. But it's all part of the deal.
Yep.
I draw from that on the next move that we're doing or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Andrea's the same way. And what's interesting is we've been together on all of them. So if we're going to go down, we're going to go big together. Yeah, right?
That's cool.
But we find that we don't normally go down because we're quick enough to recognize, hey, if we need to change course, do it. Now. Don't be upset about it. Just do it.
Right.
We used to think that being successful was something unique and special and different. Yeah. It's not.
No.
we figured out it's in the decision process. Like if you and I are talking about something,
Yep.
you want to do it.
Mhm.
Fear keeps people from doing a lot of things.
Right.
Fear of unknown or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And rightly so. That's a normal thing. And I actually think it's part of the process.
That's right.
If you're going to do something that matters,
Yeah.
it ought to do something to you when you're thinking about it, right? Scare you or make you happier. Why bother?
Yeah.
But what we learned is if there's that line, that moment that's going to make us different than the other person. Right. And that is stepping across that line. So we want to do this. We don't know how to do it, but we know it can be done. There's plenty of evidence that people can do all kinds of things. How do I do it?
Right.
Well, one, just pay attention. It's not hard. Just find someone that's doing it and then observe. Right. And then if you're not afraid, ask. Because I have never in my journey met anybody that had something to contribute that wasn't willing to share if I asked.
It's true.
What I've learned is if I offer to share and they're not asking, it doesn't do anything for them. Mm-hmm. And so I've just learned if they ask, I have a test. I've done it all my life with people. People are like, hey, yeah, we need to do this or whatever. And I'm like, sure. Okay, here's my card. Give me a call. Mm-hmm. And then it's on them.
Right.
And you'd be amazed how many people don't call.
Right. Okay. They're not ready.
But what's interesting is the people that do, they get it. They get all of it, right?
Yeah, right.
So anyway, the secret, I believe, was when Andy and I recognized what was responsible for us being successful was not that we got to the line and then made a decision to step over it. It was that we got to the line recognizing we're scared. And then we stepped over the line.
Yep.
And the secret was that it wasn't stepping over the line. It was recognizing that we were still scared.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the difference is we didn't step back because of the fear.
Right.
And so by getting over the line, now we're committed to what's next and then adapt and modify. So success really isn't a great, unique, fantastic thing that some people have and others don't. It's just keep moving. And then include and don't forget how you got there.
Yeah.
And that's where the people come in.
Yeah.
So now I'm 62, I'll be 63. I'm looking now at our next phase, and we are now in our next phase.
Yeah.
We've traveled enough that if something happened that we couldn't do anymore on our list, I will promise you could go to our Google photo albums over the last 15 years, and it even blows my mind sometimes to see what we've done.
Yeah.
We've done some amazing things.
Yep.
Well, I get to talk to people that want to know about, I can't tell you how much of my time now is spent talking to people that want to have our lifestyle or just travel and do the things that we do. Some people are afraid to travel like we do because they don't know how to do it. And we've done it enough that we can give some really good advice. So if someone's only got a couple weeks or 3 weeks or whatever to go do something in Europe, we can spend an hour with them and help them understand how to book their flights, book their transportation, and how to prioritize what they want to do in that time so that it can be a good trip, not a stress trip. Because, people want to get away from the stress, right? Yeah. So our experience helps there. But if we had to stop all that now, we're totally prepared for it because it's part of our phase. We are now in our phase of availability. So we continue to travel while we can. But at any point, if we are needed by anything, our children or our parents or for each other, we can, and we won't resent that, okay, well, maybe that part's done or we have to put it on the table.